Dear friends, I remember exactly where I was the first time I thought, I just don't care anymore. I had been home from the hospital for about an hour. When I walked through the door, I barely remembered the ride home or how I got there. Maybe my dad brought me. But I saw the bar stool where she had sat on the day of the accident. I walked over and wrapped my arms around it from behind and ached for her to be sitting there. Then I looked toward the sitting area and saw the little heart eraser and Bible school flyer she had given me on the last day of her life. She insisted that I keep that pretty little rainbow-colored eraser. But seeing it was almost too much to bear. After that, I went outside to check on my dog. And as I passed the swimming pool, I noticed the water level was low. Then I saw her little inner tube, and I picked it up and I held it tightly. In that moment of longing, I ignored the pool and walked back into the house. I no longer cared about it. Then the front porch ferns I had loved so much began to suffer, followed by my geraniums. My hummingbird feeders went dry and stayed that way until someone else filled them or I took it down. I simply did not care about anything like that anymore. Eventually, I stopped caring about my appearance, sometimes going days without showering. Going through the motions of living felt too hard. My family was in shreds, and I did not have the strength to stitch it back together because I knew it would never be whole again. It was a completely helpless feeling. I want you to know that feeling this way does not mean that something is wrong with you. Apathy is not a lack of love, and it does not mean that you are giving up. It is simply the brain's way of pulling back from overwhelming grief so that healing can slowly begin. In the midst of such painful change, emotional numbness is a normal response. It's staying numb that can become harmful. Honestly, I felt so guilty for my apathy because I still had so much to be thankful for. Yet thinking about anything positive after losing her felt wrong too. Life after loss is an entirely different kind of existence. And learning to live differently is incredibly difficult because our world is completely shaken. There's nothing abnormal about that. How did I move forward? Slowly, at a snail's pace. In those early days of our nightmare, a dear friend quietly helped by watering my flowers and ferns. I never asked her to, she just simply noticed what needed to be done and she did it. I would sit on the porch and talk with her while she watered. I remember telling her to let the plants go, but she wouldn't. I stopped using the pool because I felt too uninterested and too guilty to enjoy it without her. I did only the bare minimum to maintain it so that my family could still use it. I deflated her little inner tube, and it now stays in her trunk with her belongings at the foot of my bed. It is sacred to me. I need to tell you that sometimes those early feelings after losing Gracie still resurface. I am not over her, and I sometimes feel disloyal when I do something I know she would love or go somewhere she would love to go. But I have to remind myself that because of her loving and generous soul, she would want me to enjoy my life until I can be with her again. That is how I get through it. She would not want me to let my beautiful flowers die or let the pool turn green with algae. She would want me to enjoy my family, care for my animals, and keep myself healthy and presentable. I also want to say this. Life has many phases. There is more than winter, spring, summer, and fall because so much can happen in between. At the time of the accident, I had 3 llamas. And although I fed them, I didn't spend quality time with them, talking to them or rubbing them, something that Brutus and Oreo loved. Pepper watched from afar. She was a little leery of humans, but she still enjoyed the interactions with the others. Animals are so intuitive, and they know when something is wrong. I felt so guilty about my apathy where they were concerned that when my husband suggested donating them to a local farm with a petting zoo atmosphere, I agreed. Reluctantly, but I agreed. Because I believed that they would be happier with more human interaction than we could give them. I regret it now, but at the time, it felt like the best decision. See, before they left, my handicapped llama, Oreo, who had battled illness throughout her entire adult life, became sick and died suddenly. So only 2 had to go. And I keep telling myself that I made the right choice for what was before me at the time. I miss them dearly and I think of them often. But in that season of life, it was right for us, and I hope for them.
Scared me.
Painful decisions are an unfortunate part of learning to live differently. I encourage you to start slowly. Instead of cleaning your porch, sit there and watch the birds, even if you're not ready to feed them. Sit by the pool and dangle your feet while your family swims, even if you're not ready to get in. If your plants have died, maybe replace just one and put it somewhere that you must care for it. When you look in the mirror and feel completely undone, tell yourself to shower or wash your face, brush your hair and your teeth, as if someone might stop by. If that doesn't work, ask a close friend to remind you until it's done. They'll want to help you. They'll understand. They won't judge your apathy. Crawling leads to baby steps, and baby steps lead to walking. It is hard, but we can do it. We just have to find our reasons to want to keep going. I encourage you to look for them. Fondly, Valerie.